Martin Popoff here. Welcome back to another episode of the Contrarians. This is going to be a solo show. I'm going rogue here. I have fond memories of doing those shows on, what if Kiss released the live album on time, sort of thing that I've done with Marco. So I thought I'd just knock together a quick solo shows. We're going to call this Dio Live at the Witch Trials. Why is it called Live at the Witch Trials? Well, the fall. Mark Smith had a really cool, I think it was their debut album. By the fall was called Live at the Witch Trials. Always thought it was a great title, but the idea here is a little bit along the lines of those Kiss shows. One of Ronnie's biggest regrets is that this thing came out intermission instead of instead of a full-blown live album. Now the funny thing is, so intermission comes out after Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart comes out August 13th, 1985. There's band turmoil. Ronnie would have wanted to put out a full live album. This is actually, this is called the intermission EP, but it's actually 33 minutes long or so, but it's a mishmash. You've got Craig on the back, and you've got King of Rock and Roll is here. Time to Burn is like a new song. Rock and Roll Children, We Rock. There's kind of a medley thing going on. Sacred Heart, Rainbow in the Dark. So, big regret. Nobody liked this album cover either, and it plays up the whole Sacred Heart, the stage show, how excessive it was. So along the lines of that Kiss thing, and given Ronnie his due, and thinking what if and how much bigger could this band have been, and could have Ronnie kept the band together, kept Viv in the band, etc. So basically the point is, Dio puts out two albums. This is the second one, The Last in Line. And the idea here is that, so The Last in Line comes out July 2nd, 1984. So I'm envisioning Dio coming out with a live album called Live at the Witch Trials. They put it out on Halloween 1984, just in time for the Christmas season. It's a double live album, just a classic double live album. And, conceivably it could have been recorded in Salem, Massachusetts, perhaps. And, it would give him something to talk about, when he goes on press for it, because August 20th of 84, they played Providence. August 21st, they played New Haven, Connecticut. August 24th, they played Worcester, Mass. So they could have recorded the album there, on tour. They've already logged some dates for The Last in Line. The band is hot. This is my idea. Double live album called Live at the Witch Trials. I'll leave the album cover to your imagination, but I'll throw a few things out there. You could have Murray with a pilgrim hat on, or Ronnie with a pilgrim hat on. There's a little dig at Richie Blackmore there. You could have Ronnie being burned at the stake. You could have Ozzy being burned at the stake. You could have Eddie being burned at the stake. It could be kind of an interesting album cover. Give you something else to talk about. Calling it Live at the Witch Trials too will get Ronnie involved in the whole PMRC sort of situation, and the satanic panic thing going on. It's a nice twist. I was thinking maybe call this Live at the Wizard Trials, but I thought that was pretty cool. Live at the Witch Trials, like really strong sort of title. So let's get into it. So here's what I would envision putting on this record. So side one, we would open with We Rock, 4 minutes and 36 seconds, basically have this about the same speed as The Last in Line. You're promoting the current album. You're proud of the current album. So you open with a song from the current album. I think it's the best song on the current album. It's definitely a great concert opener, of course. Then we go into Evil Eyes from the same album. Go with a bit of a deeper track, promote a new track here. Play that at roughly the same speed, 338. Then we go to Caught in the Middle from Holy Diver. 359, maybe play that a little shorter, a little faster. I like the idea that in the 80s, these bands, people kind of blame the cocaine. I know people talked about that with Judas Priest a little bit, right? How there's really sped up versions of some of their songs. But So I like the idea of speeding up some of these songs. And I've got nothing in here, spoiler alert, I've got nothing in here for Ronnie doing a vocal solo or any crowd participation. There's no drum solo, there's no guitar solo, there's no bass solo. I must say this is the classic band. So this is Ronnie, Vinny Appice on drums, Jimmy Bain on bass, Viv Campbell on guitar, and Claude Schnell on keyboards. Let's give Claude official band status for this record as well. Okay, so not sure I mentioned track 4 yet. Breathless at 412. Basically, I played at the same speed from the Last in Line again. So we got another Last in Line song, and then we've got Eat Your Heart Out at 349. Again, played at roughly the same speed. The Last in Line track. So we've got a side with 5 tracks. It's the only one with 5 tracks, but just to break it up, just to give a little bit of a difference. In terms of the number of tracks, and then Hit You Hard with a lot of short tracks fast, and then 4 out of 5 of them from the current album, because we're proud of the current album. All right, let's move on to side 2. Side 2, we've got Stand Up and Shout from Holy Diver. Definite side opener, concert opener, side opener, but here we have it opening the side. Then we go into Holy Diver from Holy Diver. Because also you want to promote that other album. We've only got 2 studio albums at this point, right? And the other great thing about a live album, perfectly timed here, is the whole idea is you are going to bring up the sales of the 2 studio albums so far. Maybe you get a double platinum out of this, a platinum and a double platinum sort of thing. Then we go into Die Young from Black Sabbath's Heaven and Hell. This was not on the Live Evil album that Ronnie was just on with Black Sabbath. So we want to stay out of that lane here. This is competing with the Live Evil album. It's competing with Ozzy Speak of the Devil or Talk of the Devil, depending on what territory you're in. It's competing with Iron Maiden Live After Death. It's just a great thing to stick in here and actually just take Dio to another level. Scorpions had Worldwide Live. That wasn't that well received. Priest, you're beating Priest to the punch, because Priest doesn't come with Priest Live, with the Brown album cover until after Turbo, 1986, right? So the live albums after that. Okay, so we've got Stand Up and Shout at 301, Holy Diver at 615, Die Young at 445, and then Sweet Evil from Derringer Sweet Evil. This is Vinny Appice's old band, and this is the pretty much the greatest album he was on, outside of Sabbath and Dio. And Sweet Evil is kind of like, well, it's got a perfect Dio title. The lyrics are good for Dio. It's definitely a singing showcase. It's a ballad, but it's also got some heavy parts in it. It's perfect for a Dio song. It would be a really nice, crazy side thing to throw in here. And it's a nice side closer because it is a ballad with a fast part. It's a little bit of your Beyond the Realms of Death sort of song. Side 3, Stargazer from Rainbow Rising. Play it a little faster. Put this in at 775. Then we go into Kill the King from Rainbow Long Live Rock and Roll. So we've got a little Rainbow suite going here. We got a long, slow one, and then we've got a fast one. But we'll play Kill the King slightly slower just to give it a little more groove and grind, a little more of that Dio grit. Play this one at 440. Then we go into One Night in the City, played a little bit faster because it is kind of a slower tune. This is from the Last in Line, so it's the current album. I love this song. It's probably my second favorite, third favorite on the album. And then closing side 3, we've got Stormbringer from Deep Purple's Stormbringer album. So Richie was on this, but I think this is kind of cool because I love the little sort of in joke. I always think of this. It's a crazy thing, but I go, I can't believe Ronnie was never in Deep Purple. It's pretty strange. So this is a perfect song for him. It's the best, wizardly sort of song. I've separated it a little bit from Stargazer here because it sounds a little bit like Stargazer, but I put it on the same side here. So maybe people will draw out that comparison a little bit. But yeah, I think it's a perfect song for the Dio band. Let's move on to side four. Side four, I've got I Speed at Night, played at roughly the same speed from the Last in Line. I've got the Last in Line at 540, played at basically the same speed from the Last in Line, of course. So here we are. We're proud of our own material again on side four. Then we go into Rainbow in the Dark, played slightly faster, played at 359 from Holy Diver. Obviously, this is the band's biggest hit so far. It's a good party tune. We're at the end of the album. We're at the end of the concert. We want to party. But then we close off with Don't Talk to Strangers from Holy Diver. And, so we're picking a song from the first album to kind of establish that first album is this great classic album. It's also a really heavy one. It's a great closer. It's got a cool jam at the end. It just feels like an amazing, powerful, strong tune to send you off into the night as you I Speed at Night home from the concert. So there you go. That's a Dio live at the Witch Trials, issued October 31st, 1984. Double live album. Maybe it's got a booklet. It's got great pictures inside. It's got the typical thanks to all the crew, everybody from the office. Just an amazing live situation. And all of a sudden, Dio spends the rest of the 80s as one of the biggest heavy metal acts, legendary act. The band stays together. They make 3 or 4 more albums, and everything is awesome in Dio world. So there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What have I missed? What do you think of this record? What do you think would have happened to Dio's career had they put out a record like this? As you know, here at the Contrarians, we have a Patreon situation, and that's been generating, a great community that we've been doing these Dark Horse panels and other sorts of panels with these guys. So yeah, if you want to be part of any of our panels, first step is to join our Patreon situation. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, all that stuff. There you go. Your homework for today is just go listen to some Dio and wonder what if.